Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is February the 7th. Tons of NBA action on the board for today. I haven't had a chance to go through the entire slate, but I do have a couple looks that I want to share with you guys based on what I have been able to get to. I got to jet out of here in a very short time to get to my son's basketball game, but I did want to leave you guys with a video, something I absolutely love that's still available on the card today, and give you guys some thoughts on the other places, on the other looks as well. As far as a recap, I know I haven't been available the last couple of days. I didn't bet anything yesterday. I didn't bet anything the day before. Some leans that definitely cashed, but just really been busy, super busy. Life just got super busy. So I haven't done done shows in back-to-back days. The day before that, I did an evening show, and nothing official in that day either. That was a horrible day, though. That would have been a terrible day if I played any of those plays, but I didn't send any of those out to the members, didn't play any of those either. Like to get the best of the number, man. I like to get the best of the number. I like to cap the games early too, rather than getting to them late. So hopefully you guys have been making money and, been successful in your capping and sports betting in general. Let's just get into it for today, man. Let's jump into it. What up, Lock? Appreciate you for tapping in. Free Sauce, good morning, my brothers. Just tapped in here at the gym. Double says trades made this trash hard to read. Help me, bro. Yeah, it's been terrible, man. Yeah, Klingen had a monster rebound game last night. What's up, Blunt? He says, we miss you, Chris. I hope all is well. Yeah, everything is good, bro. Just busy. Just busy, man. Just busy. What's up, Mitchell? He says, Rich Paul says, day-to-day Davis not happy about being in with the Wizards. I did see that, but I heard Anthony Davis said that the rumors were kind of overblown. He's okay with being in DC, even though I think he would have liked a little bit more, decision making as far as the team that he was going to go to, is what I read. What's up, Algina? Appreciate you for tapping in as always. Let's jump into it, man. So we'll start with Jackson, AI Sports Betting Tool. I don't even know what I gave you guys for Jackson the last time. I know, I'm not sure exactly what we talked about, but I'll just go straight to the looks for today. So I've been using the same prompt. I like this one for today. It says the prompt is using the scheduling scenario for all teams, advanced analytics and matchup data. What are the two best spread bets in the NBA today? Rank them in order of confidence. So Jackson likes the Cleveland Cavaliers. Very high confidence level here, 5 out of 5. Says this is a premier situational advantage of the day. The Cavs are 31-21. They entered the game fully rested, not having played since earlier this week. They face a Sacramento team that's currently the worst team in the NBA and is playing on the second leg of a back-to-back after a 114-111 loss against the Clippers last night. Sacramento is navigating a roster vacuum with key veteran players like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine now on the roster, but struggling to find chemistry in a defensive system that ranks 28th in the league. So the Cavaliers are a statistical juggernaut in this spot, ranking 7th in offensive rating, 9th in net rating. The ability to protect the ball and execute in the half court is elite, which is a nightmare for the Sacramento defense that ranks 28th in defensive rating. The Kings allow the third most fantasy points to opposing centers, which plays directly into the hands of Jared Allen, who has been dominant recently, averaging 19.8 points and 11 rebounds over his last stretch. So that's the first one. Also, news from the Cavs camp indicates that they are hoping to debut James Harden tonight, though he is officially listed as questionable. Even without him, the rest disparity is massive. Sacramento's 29th in point differential, a negative 9.7, and will be without Keegan Murray and Sabonis, or at least it says. We don't know about Sabonis yet. Facing the top 10 Cavaliers offense with a depleted front court and 0 days rest is a recipe for a blowout. Expect Cleveland to use their fresh legs and run this tired Kings team squad off the floor. So that's the first look. The second one is Orlando minus the 7. It says this is a classic rest versus rust and home court spot. Orlando has been resting since February the 5th, while Utah is navigating a difficult road stretch. Orlando is elite at home and possesses a massive defensive advantage over Jazz squad that ranks 30th in defensive rating. So the Magic's home court dominance starts with their ability to dictate tempo. They rank 2nd in tip win percentage. I'm not even sure what that is. 72%. They face a Utah defense that's statistically the worst in the league, allowing 122 points per 100 possessions. Orlando's offense, while middle of the pack, is elite at protecting the ball. They're 8th in turnover percentage, which will prevent Utah from getting easy transition opportunities. News report highlights that Utah has been sliding, losing 7 of their last 10 games, while they add Jared Jackson Jr. at the trade deadline, the defensive chemistry is non-existent. Orlando ranks 9th in transition efficiency and will look to exploit the Jazz team that often struggles to get back in transition defense. With the Magic entering fresh and Utah struggling to find their identity on the road, the Magic are primed to cover the spread, though through defensive pressure and efficient transition scoring. So Orlando minus the 7 and Cleveland minus the 11.5 is what Jackson likes. So let's jump into it, man. First game up, I want to talk about this Houston Rocket and OKC game. And I just want to get to my notes real quick, make sure I have the most updated injury report, which I'm pretty sure I do. I just always like to double check. We know that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be out throughout the All-Star break. Of course, there's no Steven Adams in this spot either. And OKC should get some reinforcements back in this spot. They have Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, both listed as off the injury report in this game. And what else did I write in my notes? I wrote, Dort, Chet, and Isaiah Hartenstein all back in this game. Jayshawn Tate is also listed as out on the Houston side of things, and Jalen Williams continues to be out for OKC. So this line was at 4 last night. Total was at 213. Total's going up to 214.5, and the spread has come down. So people are betting Houston. People are betting over in this spot. I actually couldn't disagree more. Like, I think I don't want to bet the side because OKC without SGA and, Houston just looking like a complete funnel of themselves as of late. Could they bounce back in the spot, win this game, against a heated rival opponent? Potentially, but I'm just not liking what I'm seeing from Houston right now. The data that I didn't do a show was the day that they played against. So I liked them against Houston. I liked them in the bounce back spot against, not even a bounce back spot, but I liked them in the game against Boston. It was Boston's 4th game in 6 nights. Boston was traveling. They had just beat Dallas the night before. They were without Jaylen Brown, and this offense got absolutely steamrolled. I mean, they literally can't score the basketball. Houston's offense is terrible. They can't shoot the 3. They're bottom 5%, bottom 5 team on the full season and in the last 5 games shooting the 3-point shot. And OKC, I looked at them defensively without SGA on the floor this season. A 104 defensive rating without SGA on the floor across 1,516 possessions this season. So it's a pretty big sample size. Houston's only averaging 105.5 points in the last 2 weeks. They're 7-1 to the under in the last 8 games. Houston's under their team total in 6 of their last 8 games. And I went in and looked at it. I've been watching the games. Like, Sengun is a cone out there. He's getting absolutely killed. We've been talking about that since they lost to the Clippers, and he let Zubac give him 30. But outside of that, like, they just literally can't score the basketball. And I don't think it gets any easier against an OKC team that is also coming off a loss to San Antonio. Probably wanting to get that bad taste out of their mouth. And they're the best team in the league at guarding the rim. You look at Houston's offense over the last 2 weeks, they're shooting 59% from at the rim. 59% at the rim is the second worst field goal percentage at the rim in their last 2 games. This comes down to, Alfred Sengun really sucking it up lately. And I don't think that they're going to be able to get downhill and attack this OKC defense that is allowing the second lowest field goal percentage at the rim in the last 2 weeks. We know OKC does the greatest job in the NBA of protecting the rim. They allow the lowest percentage on the full season as far as opponent rim accuracy. So I think that it'll be played slow. Both of these teams are bottom half of the league in pace. Houston's bottom 10 in pace over their last 5 games. They just play at a snail's pace. I know OKC's defense hasn't been great as of late, but I expect them to be locked in this game. You also got the early start time. This is a 3:30 start time game. I like Houston team total under. The best number you can get is 106.5. I haven't bet it yet. Just want to make sure the injury reports are going to be clear, but that's what I like the most. Last night, this was at 106.5. I think they got to 99 points against Charlotte the other day. Hostile environment. Going back to OKC. For me, it's OKC team total under. Houston team total under or nothing for me here. Under 106.5 is what I would be playing. I also consider Sengun under his points. I think his line is at 18.5. He's been really, really struggling. Gonna have a hard time down there with Chet, down there with Hartenstein today. But yeah, 106.5 is the number. That's what I like in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking. I'm gonna keep pushing to the next game. Let's see. What up, Malik? He says happy Saturday. Hey, Malik, check your DM. I DM'd you something this morning that I saw. on X that I thought was crazy from a Chicago fan. See if you got that, Malik. Freestyle says Wizards is where players go to die. Can we name any player other than Porzingis who had a decent career? We cannot. Freestyle. I can't think of any. Let's see. I feel pretty good, Chicago. We got a big game coming up. It's actually at 11. So like I was saying, I got to get off here. I need to go get a workout in real quick before I go to the game. So yeah, I'm feeling good this morning. Hopefully you are as well, my brother. He's reminding everybody hit the like button. Appreciate that for sure. What's up, Big Mar? Caruso unders 2.5 assists. Freestyle says even without I guess Houston don't give up that many assists. My new money says he's taking Hardenstein rebounds and assists. Okay. Miji says, yeah, I'm not putting my bread on Houston. For real says it's hard for Thunder to sweep the Rockets. Without SGA, I mean, Houston got all the motivation in the world, right? Like they got all the motivation in the world. Think about this spot for Houston from a grand scheme of things, right? You're playing against the defending champs, right? You're playing against a team that historically has owned you. You're playing against a team that has beaten you twice already, so you got double revenge. They smoked you in your house the last time that they came here a couple weeks ago as well. I vividly remember that. Can't remember what the score was, but I remember they lost the game by double digits. And you've lost what? Houston's lost what? Back-to-back games in a row? So I do expect them to be motivated. Maybe even Houston early in this game. I'm not putting my money on Houston, though. They had all the motivation in the last game against Charlotte as well. Got clapped by Charlotte. And I think OKC's better than Charlotte. Double says Sengun under, Chat over. His point's a good look. Okay, and Malik says he did see that. That was funny, bro. That was funny, man. All right, I gotta keep going. Let's go to the next one. We got if I can get it to load. We got Charlotte and Atlanta. So 1.5 point spread here. Just double check that real quick. 1.5 point spread here which is where I saw open last night. I do see some twos popping up now. And then I also wrote down, I wrote down 231.5 in my notes last night, and it looks like it is still 231.5. So it's an interesting game, man, because, all right, let's start with the injury report real quick. So for Atlanta, for Atlanta, they have, well, start with Charlotte. They have just Kobe White listed as out. And Malachi Branham also still listed as out. We'll see if those guys play, and if they do, when they'll play. On the Atlanta side of things, Oyeka Okongwu is listed as questionable. Buddy Hield, newly acquired Buddy Hield, is also listed as questionable. Gabe Vincent's listed as questionable. Kuminga is listed as out. So we'll see what happens with the injury report here. Of course, Charlotte has been the darling. If you've been betting recently, you just, bet Charlotte and go to sleep. They also just been really good on the road. They're 17-11 against the spread on the road. For whatever reason, they play better basketball on the road than they do at home. 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. They won 8 straight games. Longest win streak since, I think, 1999 now. 4-2 straight up. 3-3 against the number when they're laying points on the road as well. And Atlanta struggles at home. 9-15 against the number. Back-to-back wins against Miami and Utah. They are 7-5 against the spread as home dogs. I think just 3-3 against the spread in their last 6 that they've been a home dog. This is a game where, I'm looking at it last night, and I'm thinking to myself, it seems really, really easy. A team that's won so many games in a row to take Charlotte. I hate falling for these spots, man. Could it be Charlotte? Yes. Do they have the great record with LaMelo and Brandon Miller and Conconnipple in? Yes. And they've knocked off some really good teams. They beat the Lakers, they beat OKC, they beat Denver. And there's more teams that they've been able to beat as well. But I think they do got Detroit coming up next. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna call it a look ahead spot, but it seems super easy. So I talked myself off of betting Charlotte, just taking them to win the game by 2 points. And I started to look a little bit deeper at the total. I didn't write these numbers down, so I want to pull it up real quick and share them with you guys. But I started to look a little bit more at the total. So we know Atlanta is not a really great defensive team. They give up a ton of points. Let me just get these numbers pulled up real quick. All right, so Atlanta's not the greatest defensive team, but last 5 games they are 12th in defensive rating with a 115 defensive rating, and they're playing at the 14th fastest pace, which means that they've slowed down a lot. Because we know Atlanta on the full season is still the second fastest team in the NBA. Charlotte is a team that's also playing super slow and playing really, really good defense. They're actually allowing the league the second fewest points per game in their last 5 games at 103.6. Defensive rating is number 6. They're 5th in efficiency differential. And I also like that Charlotte just isn't playing fast. They're playing at the 9th slowest pace over their last 5 games, just 95.5 possessions per game over their last 5 games, which is a lot of confluence and correlated with their full season numbers. They're 23rd in pace over their last over the full season as well. So I kind of like Atlanta team total under in this game. I think that even if Charlotte doesn't score the basketball, they will be able to get stops. We saw this against when Charlotte was playing against New Orleans in the early start time game. Remember, New Orleans got out to the big lead. I think they were leading by 8 or 9 points at halftime. Charlotte couldn't really score the basketball. Offense just kind of went to dry in that spot. But we still saw Charlotte, able to play defense, and they ended up holding New Orleans well under their team total. I think just the way that I know for Atlanta, they got a bunch of new pieces trying to get all those guys acclimated, to the system, and they're also Charlotte second best rebounding team in the NBA, one of the two. Atlanta just wants to shoot a bunch of threes. Charlotte's defense has been very, very efficient there as well. So I kind of think that, Atlanta won't get a ton of offensive rebounds. Charlotte has been pretty good defensively as far as getting back in transition. Atlanta not really pushing pace too much. And Charlotte's also number 4 in points allowed in the half court. So I kind of think Atlanta team total under, full game under would be the best way to play this game. It's a pretty high total for two teams that are playing, pretty slow pace as of late. So that's my thought process in this one. I don't think either team's on the front leg of a back-to-back, so we should see some defense played in this game, in my opinion. I'll go through the comments real quick, and I'm going to get to the next one, and I'm going to get ready to get up out of here. Let's see. Yeah, he could, Chicago. Durant's going to show that killer instinct. We shall see about that. Varia says Atlanta Hornets has to come down to earth at some point. Yeah, I kind of think we see under. I want to bet Atlanta team total under 115.5. Just thinking Charlotte's going to show up offensively. Defensively, even if they don't show up offensively. I'm not betting against Charlotte right now. Just double check the situational spot real quick. So Charlotte, this is the 3rd game that they've played so far. Atlanta won the first one by 3 in Charlotte, but they were laying 8.5. Charlotte won the second one, 133 to 126. Back on December the 18th, Charlotte was getting 4.5 points at home. Oh yeah, I remember this game. This was Trae Young first game back. They got smoked, but he crushed his assist line. I remember that. All right, so then for Charlotte, this is second straight road game for Charlotte. Second straight road game for Charlotte. They play Detroit, like I said, back at home. But yeah, they've won 8 straight games in a row now, 9 of their last 10, and they've gone under 8-2 to the under in their last 10. Atlanta went under against Utah in their last game as well. That was a super high total, but they barely beat the Jazz. Beat the Jazz by 2 points, with Lloyd Marketing playing 4 minutes in the second half. They did beat Miami, and they also don't play again until they go to Minnesota to play on Monday. So yeah, I kind of like under. Let's see. Any other thoughts here? Free Sauce says roll with Concanipple over his 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Can see that. Chicago likes Dyson Daniels. I think is that Dyson Daniels? Assists and Johnson assists. Okay. Khan has 37 and 40 points, rebounds, and assists against Atlanta. Okay. I couldn't talk you off of that. Averaging 29.5 on the road this season. I like it. Malik says, going back, you think Udoka calling out Sengun improves his defensive effort tonight? You would hope. Sengun's really a cone, though. Like, he is really a cone, man. If y'all go back to that game where they played against Cleveland, against the Clippers, I saw it in that game. I was like, damn. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a coach so upset with a player, man. He said, dude, been a cone since he got here. So you would think, yeah, they're gonna put him in the actions though. Like I thoroughly expect, them to put Sengun in all the actions today, and he gonna have to prove it. For sure. Double says you like Jalen Johnson points. I didn't look into his points. I did look into his rebounds. And I like it under on his rebounds. The problem is it's so juiced that he's been killing that line. Charlotte is, like I said, the best rebounding team, I think, in the last 10 games, second best rebounding team on the league. They don't give up a lot of offensive. They don't give up a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of putback points, none of that. Charlotte held Sengun under his points in that game as well. So I didn't look at Sengun under. I didn't look at Jalen Johnson points, but I did look at his rebounds. 10.5, I kind of wanted to go with the under as well. All right. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not. Let's keep pushing. So this game I did bet Nuggets and Bulls. Line was at 4.5 last night. I couldn't get through capping it before it started to move. And I do have a play in this one. So we look at the injury report. We got Jokic listed as questionable. Christian Braun probable. Cam Johnson could make his return. He's listed as questionable. No Aaron Gordon, of course. No Peyton Watson. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks with the hamstring injury. I think it's hamstring. And then Spencer Jones is also listed as out as well. So Denver, land up, I wouldn't say a pretty big number, but you do need to win this game by multiple possessions without the services of some key rotational players here. On the Chicago side of things, Giddey has listed as out. No Trey Jones. Zach Collins is listed as out. And Jalen Smith is also listed as questionable. I kind of think that he's going to play because without him, I'm not sure who they're going to, like, how are you going to stop Jokic, which I do expect Jokic to play. He's listed as questionable. We know Denver has been off for they had a day off, but 1 day off, but they are coming off a double overtime game. And I'll just get to my notes in this one. So they've lost. This Denver Nuggets team has now lost 3 games in a row. Third straight road game for them. Chicago, first game back home after a 4-game road trip, typically a flat spot. They've lost 3 straight. Only cover that they've only had 1 cover in their last 7 games, and they have back-to-back games where they've given up 123 points. So I kind of want to focus on that. We just saw the Chicago Bulls after the trade. Of course, they don't have a lot of time to get practices in. They traded away pretty much all their assets, which is interesting to me, to say the least. But, you look at Toronto, that Toronto team was playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. I forgot who they had played the night before, but they scored 123 points. Toronto's not an offensive team, but they scored 123 points and shot 56% from the field, 41% from the three-point line in that game. And they're not a three-point shooting team as well. Chicago they don't have a true center. Like I said, Jalen Smith, he has to play in this game. If they don't, Jokic is going to feast in this game. Even somebody like, Valanciunas could have a big game in this game against, the Chicago team. So I do like Denver. I had not a lot of systems, but, multiple systems say that, you take the team that is coming off a 3-game losing streak. If they land up, 2 possessions or more, I'm not going to pull that up, but that's a pretty strong trend that says, to back Denver in this spot. Denver should be able to get pretty much whatever it is they want in this game. And I do think they win by margin. I'm not sure if it's going to be 10 plus, but I do think that they get the job done in this game. Chicago kind of showed their hand. I think that they just kind of threw all their chips in the middle and, it's over for them. Denver has a lot to play for. I also think that it's interesting to note who Denver lost to on the 3-game losing trip, right? Like you got they lost to arguably the 3 best teams in the NBA. Denver's last loss was to the Knicks. The game before that, they lost to the Pistons. The game before that, they lost to OKC. So it's been, pretty hard sledding for this Denver team. But they get a big step down in competition here. So I did take Denver minus the 5.5, and we shall see what the rotations look like. But I don't see Chicago being able to slow down this Denver offense. I thought about just taking Denver's team total over, but because they're missing so many pieces on the offensive end, I think they can get the job done with their offense or their defense in this spot. I'm also not sure if Chicago is going to be able to score the basketball. I know, the newest addition is Anthony Simons. He had a pretty big game against the Toronto Raptors, but I think Denver should be able to get some stops in this game and at least be able to outscore them by multiple possessions in this spot. So that's what I bet. That's actually the only thing that I bet so far. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Freestyle said Chicago don't care right now. Malik says we good. We got Yabusele. Oh man, that's funny. Yabusele gonna have his hands full today, especially if Jalen Smith doesn't go. But we shall see, man. What's up, Super? Appreciate you for tapping in. This morning chats. What's your favorite play today? This is my favorite play. Super says I'm loving Max Christie over his threes against who they play. They play San Antonio. Okay. So yeah, that's what I bet for today. One other thing I wanted to take you guys through. So let's go through the other games real quick. So Washington, Brooklyn, open 4.5. I think I saw this up as high as 6 now. Yeah, so 6 total hasn't really moved a lot. I gotta get ready to go. But I don't want to bet the side. I don't want to bet the total. Washington has a depleted injury report. Not sure who's gonna play, so it's easy for me to kind of skip past that game. One thing that stood out to me though, and it's a lean right now, is Bud Carrington over his assists. So 4.5 is the number. I think it was minus 125 on BetMGM when I looked this morning. The problem why I didn't play it is because you would love for Trey Johnson to play and Bilal to play and Sarr. All those guys are listed as questionable. Even Keyshawn George is listed as questionable as well. So for Washington, you would like for those guys to play, but if they play, I do like Bud over his 4.5 assists. He's over in 4 of his 5 games so far this season without Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum, who both, of course, aren't on the team anymore. He averaging 6.8 assists in those games without those guys in those 5 games. On 10.8 is potential. The only game he went under was against Detroit, which is the team, of course, that allows the fewest assists in the NBA. Brooklyn, we know, allows the 5th most assists on the season. They allow the 8th most assists in their last 5 games. This is a terrible defense. I wouldn't be laying points with Brooklyn either, but that's my thought process on that game. We went over Houston, OKC. I like Houston team total under. Didn't bet it yet. Dallas, San Antonio. I got some more work to do. I do know Dallas has lost 6 straight. They are the only 2-4 against the spread in their last 6. San Antonio has actually won 3 straight. This is the front end of the second part of a little back-to-back series. San Antonio has won both. They've covered both. The first went under 224. The second went over to 230.5. Last game finished 258. And this total right now is 230. It looks like 230. Spread is looking like it's 9.5. So I wrote in my notes under, but I don't think I can play under. Under based on San Antonio shooting 41% from the 3-point line. San Antonio typically goes under when they're playing opponents that they've beaten already this season. And then Dallas is 12-5 to the under in revenge spots as well. But I'm not sure if I'll actually get there with any of that. Maybe just bet on Cooper Flag. He's been hooping as of late, and I don't know, dude's he killing it right now, trying to wrap up the MVP, the rookie of the year before the All-Star break even happens. Utah, OKC, Utah and Orlando is next. I didn't really look too deeply into that game either, so I'll just kind of skip that one. I will say Utah has some funny rotations as of late. Like, I'm not sure who's going to play. Like, I'm not sure how, inserting. I would think that it's terrible for Nurkic, but who knows what they're going to do with Jared Jackson Jr., how many minutes Lauri Markkanen is going to play. I didn't watch the game, but I heard that he only played 4 minutes in the second half in that game against Toronto the other day. Against Atlanta the other day. So just be careful if you're betting Utah games right now, because they don't want to win, but they are covering. This is 4th straight road game, and they've covered all 3 of their road games so far this season. Orlando, typically not that great laying big numbers, which I guess is why this numbers come down from 9 to 7.5. They did smoke Brooklyn in that last game, and I thought that they would get right in that spot, and they absolutely did. But neither here nor there. Didn't bet the game. Let's see. Atlanta, Charlotte, we did. Denver, Chicago, we did. Golden State and LA, not a game that I look too deeply into either. Line is down to 2.5, 3. It looks like 222.5 is the total. Of course, there's no Luka, there's no Steph, no Porzingis. They are listed out. Golden State, got a big win against Phoenix in their last game. The Lakers got a big win against Philly in their last game. For the Lakers, it's still like their second game back home off an 8-game road trip. I kind of think the Lakers do have enough. Austin Reeves looked really, really good in that last game. And I think the Lakers, are starting to play a little bit of defense, in my opinion. Golden State's not a great offensive team, so maybe I look towards Golden State team total under. But I got to do more work on that game. And then Philly and Phoenix, I'm gonna skip for right now as well. I didn't bet that game. I really wanted to get there with Phoenix. Like, I think the problem is both of these teams are really, really good in this road. We got a Philly team that's 16-6-1 against the spread on the road. It's the best in the NBA. Phoenix team that's 16-8-1 against the spread at home, also best team at home ATS. And Phoenix is 7-3 against the spread, 8-2 against 7-3 straight up, and 8-2 against the spread as home dogs this season, including 5 straight wins and covers. The last time Phoenix was getting points at home, they smoked Cleveland in that spot. For Philly, it is 4th game in 6 nights. They've all been on this Western Conference road trip, so maybe they run out of gas. They had to dig deep to win all 4, but the injury report is key. and we have Embiid questionable, Jalen Green, and Devin Booker all listed as questionable. So I would wait, in my opinion, to see who's going to be available in that game. Memphis and Portland, again, this is an easy pass for me. I'm not touching that game. Cleveland and Sacramento, line is up to 12 now. Total is up to 234. Probably just I'm not sure who's going to play in that game either. We'll see if Harden makes his debut. But yeah, I'm just kind of staying off of that game until I get a little bit more time to do deep diving later in that game. Cleveland has looked good on this road trip, though. We backed them against Portland. They won. I didn't touch them against the Clippers, but they smoked the Clippers as well. And this should be a pretty, easy win in my opinion in this game. I saw DeAndre Hunter got poked in the eye. I don't think he returned yesterday, so they'll probably be shorthanded. Maybe they place a bonus because I don't think he played last night, but I don't know. I got more work that I got to do in that game, so I'll just leave you guys with this, and I got to run. Denver minus the 5.5. Bud Carrington overs 4.5 assists. The plays are in red if you guys are new, or plays that I haven't played yet, but I am on Denver minus the 5.5. I like the Houston team total under, and either Atlanta team total under or Atlanta Charlotte full game under the 231 and a half, I think is a pretty solid look. But we shall see. I will send official plays out to the members when I do play them. Resources all linked in the description of the video. Check out Jackson, Outlive, Moneyballer, and Odds Jam. And drop your best plays in the chat, man, so everybody else can tell them. Hit the like button on the way out, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. NFL Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, but there's a 5-game slate, and they starting pretty early. So NBA always start pretty early on Sundays because of the Super Bowl. So we'll talk about these games tomorrow as well, man. Best of luck on your action for today. Y'all enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm out.